Most people have never tasted ackee and saltfish the real Jamaican way. Today, I'm going to show you how to make it just like how we eat it in Jamaica.
Open your cupboard and your fridge, grab your ingredients, and let's make this recipe.
Welcome to Chef Henry Kitchen. I'm going to go over why you all make it the wrong way. We are using saltfish, and because it's saltfish, and you hear the word saltfish, it's just salted to preserve the saltfish. And lots of people is going to be like, why are you getting the saltfish and then you have to boil it? It's too salty to make ackee and saltfish with this, just as it came out of the pack. Stick around and you're going to see the right process and how to make Jamaican ackee and saltfish. Here is all the ingredients. I'm using 1 pound of saltfish, and also I will be adding vegetable and green seasoning into it, step by step. So the next time you try making ackee and saltfish, you'll be like, oh, Chef Henry showed me the original way. I have gloves on, and I have a pot on the stove, and I have 3 cups of water inside the pot. Let's start cleaning the saltfish.
And I also have water in this bowl.
So I'm just gonna dip the saltfish inside here, and I'm using 1 pound of saltfish. This is the easy way to remove the skin.
You can also soak the saltfish in water overnight to help reduce the salt level.
You want to remove the skin just like that, chop it back in the water. And also we have bones inside this. Lots of people like the bone inside stuff. I like to take it out at this step. So you just want to hold the bone just like this, near this part, just like this. It's also removing the fine bones. So you're left with just the saltfish itself. I'm gonna do this to the rest of saltfish. I will show you when I'm finished. Now I finish removing the skin and separate the bone from the saltfish. And this is what left from a pound of saltfish. And here is the skin and the bones inside this bowl. I'm just gonna add, this is not warm water, this is just room temperature water. So you see the concept. This is just the refined clean, and also because we soak it in warm water and it sits inside there, to get that heavy salt removed from the saltfish. So I'm gonna throw away the water, then I'm gonna add more the same way, but I'm just gonna do it under the top. So I'm gonna turn my stove on. Now I'm gonna add the saltfish into the pot to reduce the salt even more. I'm gonna let this come to a boil. While we are waiting on the saltfish to boil, I'm gonna start prepping the vegetable and green seasoning. I wash them, 2 large onions, scallion is a must, and 1 large tomato, half of green and red sweet pepper. All of the vegetable and green seasoning right here, put these in ackee. You won't make any mistake. Your ackee and saltfish will taste authentic. So I'm gonna start cutting these up, and I'm gonna start out with the onions. Slice it down the middle. Sweet pepper. So scallion is essential for making ackee and saltfish. And also I will be adding some dry thyme. That is also an essential part of ackee and saltfish. Some people add ketchup, but you won't see that in my recipe. And that's some of the mistake that some people make when they are making Jamaican ackee and saltfish. Now that we get the green seasoning and vegetable prep, the saltfish is boiling. I'm gonna taste the liquid. So all we need to do is to just run this on the top water to cool it down, and then the saltfish is good. The mistake that people make, you make it too salty, then you add seasoning and it tastes salty. So I'm gonna shut the stove off and I'm gonna run it on the top water. I finish cooling down the saltfish, run it on the top water to reduce the salt even more. And now I'm gonna do a taste to make you guys see. Salt volume is very low, so this is okay. Now you know and how to avoid that mistake. So we're making ackee and saltfish, right? And I never even show you the ackee I'm using. I'm not even going one, I'm using 2 cans. Not a sponsor. I'm using the Duns River ackee. They were on sale. You can use any ackee of your choice. So don't forget that these are already cooked. You just have to open and drain the water. I will go over all the seasoning that I'm going to be adding into the pot when I get to that step. So I'm going to turn the stove on. And guys, as I stated before, I like to measure everything that I'm adding into the pot. I'm going to remove the cover and I'm going to add half a cup of vegetable oil. You want just enough oil, cover the bottom of the pot. Measure everything, you won't go wrong. So I'm going to wait until the oil is hot. Now that the oil is hot, I'm going to add the vegetable and green seasoning. I am going to cover. I'm going to let it saute for 4 minutes. The vegetable and green season is finished sauteing. You're going to add the saltfish because you want to get the saltfish incorporated with the vegetable and green seasons. Just going to go in with our hands and we're just going to crush the saltfish into flakes. We just want to do it like this so it can distribute even throughout
The rest of ingredients. I am going to add the saltfish into the pot.
I'm going to mix it in. I'm going to add seasoning. A teaspoon of dry thyme leaves. A teaspoon of pimento berry, and I crushed the pimento. And 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. I know you guys always ask me the question
Of the season brand I use.
And also, not a sponsor, I'm going to use the Maggi all-purpose seasoning. And I'm going to add a tablespoon. Cajun seasoning, I'm going to add a tablespoon. Onion powder, a tablespoon. And also, vegetable seasoning, a tablespoon. I'm gonna mix in the seasoning into the pot. Now that we get the seasoning mixed in, I'm gonna place the cover on and I'm gonna let it go for 2 minutes. I'm gonna open the 2 cans of ackee. Can opener work great. Sit down the can and just go around. I always say this. Clean the top of the can. Just run the tap water over the can. Because you don't know how they shaped or they handle. Just know that you work with stuff that's clean inside your kitchen. Cleanliness is godliness. I'm gonna drain the liquid. Some people would add the liquid with the ackee into the pot, not me. So I just put my lid down and just hold it. And also guys, you can add scotch bonnet pepper, that's optional. I am going to do a taste. Just to check the season. Oh my god, it is just waiting on the ackee. Season is on point and everything is on point. I am going to add both cans of ackee into the pot. Open up. This is a part that I'm going to show you, and if you can get this part right, you won't turn the ackee into a mush. We're not making potato salad, we're making ackee and saltfish. So just look at this, and I'm just going to just gently turn over and get the ackee incorporated into the pot with the saltfish and sautéed vegetable and green seasoning. That was easy, right? You never know that trick. I just show you. We're gonna bring the temperature right into medium heat, and we're just gonna cover, and we're just gonna let it go for 3 minutes. So guys, in that 3 minutes, if you never subscribe, go subscribe. I show you everything that you need to know and how to pull this off. All your neighbor, tell your neighbor to subscribe right now. You get the best way and how to make Jamaican ackee and saltfish. This way is very authentic, Chef Henry way. And I'm gonna check on this delicious pot of Jamaican ackee and saltfish. Look at that. Nicely mixed in. And guys, you can smell the aroma. And I'm gonna shut my stove off. If you are from Jamaica, you know that this serve with some nice, soft Jamaican fried dumpling. And also made right here in Chef Henry kitchen. I will make a plate and I will see you all for the taste test. Now I have my ackee and saltfish on a plate and I show you everything in this recipe. And also I serve it with Jamaican fried dumpling. And also I'm gonna put that fried dumpling recipe right here. So guys, go over there and go check that out, because fried dumpling and ackee and saltfish, they are both celebrating their anniversary around the world. And they pair well, which ackee can go with anything, but fried dumpling is the best bet. And this is also a breakfast recipe. So now I'm gonna go in for the taste test, because I see you and your mouth is watering. Guys, the recipe is easy to follow. So I'm gonna break. I don't know if you guys hear that sound. Oh, crispy on the outside and soft goodness on the inside. And how we eat ackee and saltfish with fried dumpling, you just go like this, take a piece, just go down to one corner, scoop it up, I am gonna get on my thought. Watching my grandmother make fried dumpling, and I watch my grandmother make ackee and saltfish. Everything I bring here to show you guys is to how to master cooking like a pro. Remember, I once was a beginner, just like you guys, and now I'm here showing you all of the recipe that I was taught. I transform them in Chef in your kitchen and I bring them to you guys, and I give you every step that if you follow, when anyone try the fried dumpling and ackee, they will be going like this. So good. Leave another comment and where you're watching from so I can know where all of you guys are that's watching me. And from my kitchen to yours, just a screen away. See you on the next one.